Okay. So this is a very big one. This one's Myron Gaines and Steven Crowder talking about women. And what I really like about this is, I'm just gonna be honest. Like a lot of the more, regularly known right-wing speakers like Daily Wire, Steven Crowder, just like these guys that are really big. Usually they tell you get married, all these things, but they rarely talk about the current dating market and current women in the dating market. Because let's be honest, a lot of these guys dated like maybe 30, 20 years ago at this point and then married that woman. But a lot of men today are dealing with a different brand of women. And most of these guys, they give you advice. And the thing is, this was good advice maybe in the 80s, maybe in the 90s, maybe in the 60s. But now, when it comes to dating, the market has changed, the game has changed, and they're giving you advice that's basically shooting you in the foot. Like, the whole thing is, I'm not against marriage, I'm not against any of that, but I believe in prenups, I believe in separate bank accounts, I believe in understanding women. I believe in understanding women and not letting them do whatever they want. It, like, let's say, generally in every household it's the same way, which is men pay everything and then women get everything, and then women take all the space, decorate it however they want, and then they barely let men have any control over their life, control over the money, control over the vacations, even though the man makes the most money. For me, the way I think of relationships is, if you provide more, you should have more choices than the person who doesn't. Because I get it, like women, yeah, they take time to look pretty, therefore, like, shut the fuck up. That's some gay shit. Men take time to get pretty too. It's called working to get a bigger wallet. That's what makes men prettier generally. That and working out, but usually it's the wallet thing. But let's get into this because I think this is a very great like meeting between two sides of the same of a coin in the dating market and talking about what they think is correct. Now let's get into this.
That's why I do what I do, is so that men understand that they need to be the leaders, and to be the leader, you need to have these things in place and also understand what you're dealing with on the other end, because women of 2025 are no longer the women of 1955, which guys make this egregious mistake and think that they are.
That's where we would differ. Is for me, the prescription is it is your duty as a man to honor her, to respect her,
of course,
to her,
yeah, of course.
and I would put in there monogamous.
As long as the guy's making that decision and he's monogamous because he wants to be, I'm cool with it. I just don't want guys being monogamous because their wife tells them, oh, you
Oh yeah, here's my thing. When it comes to dating too, if a guy wants to have multiple girls, I don't condone lying to them. I do not. Like the reason I don't care too much about Andrew Tate having multiple women is not even because like people will say, oh, it's bad that he has all these women. Like, shut the fuck up. That's some gay shit. But like the whole reason is because he doesn't lie to them. If a woman gets with Andrew Tate, she knows what she's getting into. She knows that, yeah, he's obviously going to have like 10, 20 different women, and he obviously can cheat whenever he wants while she can't do anything. The whole thing is, she knows what the relationship is going to be beforehand. I don't condone in lying on any side, no matter whose relationship it is. Like for girls, if you say you want to have multiple guys, fucking say it. Don't lie to your partner, because lying to your partner is a piece of shit move. It doesn't like that. That's the thing. I don't care if you want to have an open relationship, if you want to something, just don't lie to your partner about what the relationship is. That's a very, very big thing I hate. Because if they're willing to lie to you, I'm just gonna say it. They're a worthless piece of shit. Don't stay with them. Leave them. Get out of that relationship. They're never gonna respect you. They're never gonna respect your decisions. And that's it. Never ever stay with a liar. Never ever. It doesn't matter if it's bodies, it doesn't matter if it's past relationships they lied about, it doesn't matter what they lied about. If they don't trust you enough to trust you in a relationship like that, fuck them. Fuck them.
better be monogamous because XYZ.
Now, do you ever get in hot water? Because you're a lady, lovely, fetching lady. I think like a lady out there. I don't want to speak out of turn. Does it ever hurt you in your relationships where they hear you go like, we're all players? Do you have to? So you're going to go back and she's gonna be like, you have some splaining to do, you know, in Sudanese.
Well, yeah. Yeah, she'll say it in Arabic. No, we need to talk. So they don't, because like I'm very open about that. Like I tell
Yep.
girls all the time, I'm not going to be monogamous to you. I tell them all the time, men lead, women follow. And you know, and I do want to be important, because this is another thing that people kind of misconstrue about me. I don't tell guys to run out there and be like a womanizer like forever. I just want guys to be able to understand women, and I understand for you to truly be able to understand modern women and the way that they move nowadays. Unfortunately, like religion and culture and all the things that used to keep women in place, the church and shame, all these institutions are pretty much gone or eroded
Yep.
significantly. So like women are incentivized to be whores nowadays. So I tell guys, look, get in a position.
Oh, that is fucking true. Okay, let me tell you about this. If anyone's seen a lot of those Halloween videos, you get to the same outcome, which is like 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 there was this one video where a woman said she was Buzz Lightyear, and another one where a woman said she was Woody. And like they were basically just wearing lingerie, not even lingerie. They were just wearing a bra and panties, and that was their costume. Their costume was, oh look, it looks like a character, but hey, I'm exposing 99% of my body to do it. A lot of women have this very big problem where they want to dress a certain way, but they don't want you to notice they're dressing a certain way. But at the same time, if you don't compliment them, they get mad at you for not noticing they dress a certain way. But then they get mad at you for asking you. Then they get mad at you if you ask to date them or ask them out on a train. And that's the whole thing. The whole thing is women are very selective when they want to be a feminist versus when they want to be, like, you know, a whore, basically. And because of this selectiveness, it's gone to the point where, you see pretty much every girl out there wearing booty shorts, every girl out there, like, exposing, like, 80% of their body with, like, no problems at all. But if you call them a whore, or if you think they're a certain other thing, they get mad at you. And the whole thing is they're selective about who they do it to. Like, when a girl says, hey, we're going to Miami, it means, hey, we're going to be hoes, but we don't want to say that. Or when a girl says, oh, I'm done. Or like when a girl says, oh, I just want to settle down, it means I've been with 100+ men, and now I'm finally ready to stop having fun. And you have to get me, but at the same time, get the most boring, obnoxious, ungrateful version of me. That's the biggest problem with a lot of women, which is men are treated like pieces of shit all their lives, so usually, they think of themselves as that. Whereas women are propped up, no matter what their decision is, as like goddesses and heroes, and when they become older, they get mad that they don't get that same treatment anymore.
Where you understand women, where they can't hurt you, like whether it be with marriage or the divorce court, or you're paying alimony or child support. Understand them, and then go in with your eyes wide open. And unfortunately, in today's day and age,
oh yeah, child support. Here's what I think: always wear a condom, no matter what the woman tells you. Always fucking wear a condom. Yeah, always. If she tells you she's on Plan B, if she tells you she's on like birth control, don't believe her. And the whole thing is, a lot of girls lie. Like, anyone who's ever been with women knows they lie a lot, a shit ton. The best example of this is, oh, Lizzo's so hot. Oh, you look like Lizzo. They'll have a completely different reaction. Or like even like transgender women, like, when you get to them, they'll be like, oh yeah, these women are hot. And then you tell them, oh yeah, you look like a transgender. Then they get mad at you. Because the real reaction is when you tell them that they look like what they're saying is hot. Then they get mad at you. Because that's their real reaction. Their fake reaction was, oh yeah, this looks great. No, it fucking doesn't in your mind. You're just lying about it.
I think guys do have to get a level of experience when they deal with women, but I just want them to do it on their terms versus doing it on the woman's terms, which is what most guys end up doing in society.
I think that's good, because I know you've had conversations, a friend of mine, Andrew Wilson, and
yes,
we agree on a lot of the, like, I think you're unabashedly red pill. you would say. And then I get lumped in with that, where it's like we would have very different prescriptions going forward. But it sounds to me like you're
we
saying
all identify the same problem.
the same problems. Yes, exactly. And I think that's where we kind of diverge and we can talk about it. But that's actually good for you to clarify, because I've heard you say, like, bang a lot of bitches, to use your culture, your colored nomenclature.
Yes.
But you're basically saying do it on your terms. So if you want to be monogamous, if you want to not be promiscuous, then make sure you're approaching it the right way where you find that kind of woman. But if you want a whore, then, go to the horse store.
Yeah, and be able to identify them. So this is the thing that, like, so I get in a lot of fights with a lot of, like, conservatives over this topic. So, like, one of the
Yeah, that's true. Because I generally like a lot of conservative opinions, but when it comes to women, oh boy, it's like I almost disagree with everything. Because, like, the reason why people like Myron Gaines and Andrew Tate so much is because the conservatives, they tell you about how to get women, and women also tell you how to get women, but the majority of the time, that advice is actually detrimental to you. That advice actually hurts you, because the courts are stacked in women's favor, the law is stacked in their favor, and public opinion is stacked in their favor. So once you realize all of that, like, a woman can be stupid, get in a relationship, and she can win everything 99% of the time. But if a man does the same thing, his life is ruined and his life is over. So you, as a guy, have the responsibility to learn all these things before you do any of it.
the things, right? So I have 5 things that I think every guy should have. And I think we might have even had a discussion on this before a couple of years back, and it hasn't really changed too much. Make 6 figures a year, at least $100,000 a year as a guy, be 35 years old, have 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in good shape, and have sex with 50 women. Now, this 50 women thing is what has a lot of people.
The fifth thing.
Yeah. 50 women. I think I love that. I think it probably would be better like 10 than 50, but I generally agree with that advice. Yeah, but 50 sounds like crazy for some people.
This is what pisses a lot of people off. Now, this 50 isn't a hard and fast 50. I just want it where guys are able to get to a point where they understand women, to the point where they don't get into a relationship with a girl and she's telling them like, oh, you're not going to get any nookie unless you take out the trash. Oh, you're not going to get XYZ unless you do this. So I don't.
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing, which is, as a man, you're expected to protect, provide, do all the finances. But if a woman doesn't want to, like, do her share of the work, she's not worth it. She is not worth it. Get her out of your life. She is not worth it. Because the whole thing is, I'm doing all this for you. You're expected to do all this for me. And when I'm supposed to, and then I'm supposed to upkeep here, but all the stuff you're doing keeps going down progressively, while I'm supposed to be the one holding everything up. No matter how much you disrespect me, no matter how much you lie to me, no matter how much of my money you use, because the thing is, women, their money is their money, and your money is also their money. That's how it works. But as a man, like, it's your responsibility to not be a retard. Because if you give a woman everything she wants, she's gonna find a way to complain and ruin everything.
I want guys to be in a position where their girlfriend or their significant other can leverage sexuality for compliance from them, from his perspective. She should be giving that to you all the time, and she should be actually the one trying to initiate if you do everything right, correctly. And the reason why I say guys need to have these 5 things is because in the age of Instagram, in the age of dating apps, in the age of where women have all these opportunities, relationship and sexual opportunities, you need to be what I call like an entry-level higher status guy. And these 5 things will put you in a position where you can at least be the leadership figure in that relationship, where she's going to respect you and most importantly submit to you guys, submit to you. So that's why I say these things. Now, could it be 20 and you'll be fine? Could it be 10? Could it be 1? Hell, could you even be a virgin and maybe understand this stuff? Sure. But what I've realized is, like, most men don't really figure women out until they've had a significant amount of experience. And I've noticed it to be somewhere between 30 to 50. Now,
do you mean that relationally, or do you mean that sexually?
Sexually, so that you understand women appropriately, so that you can identify. It's like, like we look at World of Warcraft, right? Like, you got to kill the little like monsters or whatever, like the shit wants to level
I
up.
thought we were talking about women. You went to World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I'm glad Steven Crowder did this conversation, because I think these two sides really need to meet up together and get everything fucking together. Like, I would also love to see Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes debate, because the whole thing is, the left already thinks the right is a bunch of Nazis and they want to kill them. So when you put that into perspective, it does not matter like what you do at this point. They're gonna hate you no matter what. So you might as well at least do the interview, get the money, and unite the two sides of the right that are fighting against each other currently. Because the Democrats are united on we hate Trump. The Republicans right now are the biggest division is Israel, but there are other divisions like women and all that stuff. But the biggest one right now is Israel. And the whole reason why is just it's just like I'll say a lot of like I'll say Candace Owens, for example, she's a fucking retard. I hate her. Like Nick Fuentes has a lot of valid arguments against Israel. And the whole thing is Ben's supposed to be the top guy defending Israel because he knows why we should support Israel, but he doesn't. Then a guy like Nuxanor comes around and he does it better. Sorry for talking this much. Okay, now we're actually gonna watch it without me talking too much.
Tonight to women.
How many women do you have if you're World of Warcraft?
Yeah, well, you got to kill the like little.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of all women drying up.
Damn.
Like you know, you spar with a bunch of people in boxing, right?
She won't dry up if that's attached to making like $20,000 a stream.
So that when you finally have that final match against the boss, like you know how to appropriately, you know, duck and weave and you know do what you got to do to be able to win the fight. Because I do think like when it gets to marriage and long-term relationship, that's going to be the hardest thing for you versus just womanizing. So you need to understand women's strategies and proclivities and everything else like that. So I think having that number and having that experience will, number one, put you in a position where you're attractive, and then number two, give you the prerequisite knowledge and sexuality where women can't leverage sex against you anymore. Because so many guys are like, I got my, I'm going to do whatever she wants, and that's like the beginning.
And if you do that, you'll end up exactly like what's his face? Fuck. How do I? Oh my god. How do I not remember his name? How do I not remember his name? Oh, let me think. Let me think. Shit. How do I not remember? Okay, if I remember his name, I'll say it. Fuck. It's actually sad. I don't remember his name.
Beginning of the end.
You've been talking with Robert. He says that a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
he says that. I'm like, Robert, you don't understand the dynamics of female-male interplay. But I will say, I get it. And then the Christian right prescription is, hey, you know what? The truth is people figure out sex, and the truth is people who are virgins who get married and then have sex, have fewer partners.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, iDubbbz. That's who it was. He was the coolest fucking guy on the internet. Everyone liked him in like 2016, 2017. He got 1 ounce of pussy, and bro, his life's been downhill ever since. His life's been, oh my god. The worst part is his wife does OnlyFans. He's become a pathetic loser. And the worst part is like the worst part is like he's like hanging out with Hassan and their crew of like retards. That's the worst part. Like you don't want to be an iDubbbz, man. You don't want to be an iDubbbz. Like I lost all respect for that man, and he was one of the coolest guys before that stuff happened.
Sexually happy or not, maybe because they don't know what to compare it to.
They are,
but so what? Yeah. You know what I mean? I also
and
think
ideally,
that
just for clarity, ideally, if a guy and a girl can get together and be virgins, that's the best scenario.
So you would say that too?
Yeah, statistically speaking, that is the best way. But me being pragmatic and understanding how women are nowadays.
Oh, and I'll tell you this: the downside of that is there would be a lot of, like, I'll say this, mainly female friends that will tell her that, oh, you lost time to explore, oh, you lost time to find yourself, and all that. So then she'll say, oh, I want a break. I want a break, or I want to go to Miami, or I want to do this. And yep, there are a lot of women that will shame her for only being with one man. That is the truth.
Where the average 21-year-old girl is going to have more sexual partners than the average 21-year-old guy. Like, I can't in good faith tell guys to get married as a virgin and them not being destroyed because they don't understand female nature and how women are. And like, unfortunately, the church, religion, society, shame, all these different things that used to be in play back like in 1955 are no longer in play in 2025. And women have no reason to really sit there and submit to you and do what they're supposed to do because they're incentivized to not.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think, so I think think you're right. We have identified kind of one of the problems in society.
Yeah. Dry skin in your.
Is that what it is?
No, it's gone.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I went like this. I scratched my nose right before we went on the show. Yeah, exactly. Do you think though that there is a way to incentivize guys to only look for the right women, and eventually this problem goes away because women won't.
That's the problem. How do you find the right woman when they're very good at lying and pretending? The right woman could just be the right woman until you marry her. Then she shows her true colors.
Won't be able to find any guys because they're not looking for women that are sleeping around. They're actually looking for people that have some character and some, I don't know, the qualities in women that we've always looked for. So instead of incentivize, like saying, hey, go out and sleep with 50 so you understand them, just say, just don't play their game. Just find virtuous women, and therefore we will get rid of this problem by doing that.
The only problem with that is that, so when women run game, what they do is when they find a guy that they like, they'll sell purity. And we all know, like, we sell success.
I've seen those stories, yes.
So like my thing is like, and this is another reason why.
All right, what about an app, a purity app? Follow me here. No, I'm just kidding.
You could ask some questions to it, and then I can.
Dating a water filter? What is that?
But yeah, like the thing is, guys need to be able to identify when girls are lying to them and they're selling purity. And this is why I tell guys actually like date a girl for 6 months to a year before you ever like claim her and make her your.
Oh, I fully support that. Never do that 1 week shit. And here's the thing, there are occasions where a girl would be super desperate and super willing to get with you. And like, it'll be like for no reason. There are times she's trying to baby trap you because maybe she's about to be 30, or maybe she had sex with somebody else and wants you to take responsibility because she made a bad decision and therefore you're responsible for her bad decision even though you weren't there for the bad decision. But yeah. Always get a DNA test. That's also my advice. Like trust me, I would rather give advice to protect men as much as possible than like blindly tell you guys, hey, just do this. That's the thing. Always check
your actual girlfriend and actually getting serious, because you need time to see where she stands in her characteristics. And then another thing I tell guys is like, see if she does acts of service. Like, will she do things for you? And because a good woman is going to come in, see parts of things that you're doing that could be optimized. Like, for example, let's say you like coffee, right? But she shows up at your house, you don't have a good coffee machine. She just takes the initiative and buys you one. Right. Yeah. Or she has a cup always ready for you when you wake up, little things like that. And you don't even have to tell her. Like, that's a really good sign, because now she's becoming like almost, I always say men need to be problem solvers in the real world. Women need to be problem solvers in a household with the guy and making them better so that they don't have to think about the little things, so they can go focus on the big things. That's where I think a woman is best. And people get mad at me when I say, oh yeah, she needs to basically be your assistant. But I truly do think like.
And that's what I hate people. Like, oh, she needs to basically be your assistant. While they're preaching out there, men must be subservient, men must do everything the woman wants, men must pay everything, men must pay every date. Like, their opinion doesn't matter. Fuck them.
Women thrive in that assistance role because it puts you as the masculine leader and the dominant figure. It puts her as the subservient, which is what they want anyway. And she's helping you become better. And I think that's like the best way it can go. But guys won't be able to identify these types of women or be able to figure this out until they date them for a good amount of time and see where she stands with these types of things.
Do you think, because you said women's nature, and again, we would agree on the descriptions, maybe not the prescriptions, where I still think finding a chaste woman is ideal, but I also agree, blind spot, women lie in the modern world, because sometimes they're going against their nature. Their nature is not to be, is a term you use, hypergamy. Hypergamy.
Yes.
Okay. They don't want to be sluts, put it that way. They don't want to be dime store whores. A lot of them don't, right? But they've been told that.
No. It's more like they want to, but they also don't want the repercussions of doing it. A perfect example is Mia Khalifa. She said she was a jewelry store owner the last time I saw an interview about her. And let's be honest, let's be honest. The only people that believed her are people who don't know about her.
It's empowering. And so sometimes women are trying, the same way that guys who simp and say, hey, I'm soft, I'm sympathetic, I'm sensitive, they're trying to fill an archetype that they have been told is appealing, which actually flies in the face of our nature sometimes.
Yeah.
And we see more people who are sort of acting anti-naturally, women acting masculine, acting tough, boss babe, and men, and I don't want to use the term beta, but men acting weak and subservient, and no one's happy because it's all a fake out.
Limp dick losers. That's what they are, limp dick losers. Funny enough, those are the types of men that I usually see supporting socialism. Yeah, I am gonna dunk on it. I'm gonna dunk on it in a video not related to it. Every opportunity.
No, you're actually precisely correct. I say it all the time. Feminism is the blue pill for women, right? So for men, right? Blue pill guys are simps. Feminine, think that women can lead and they can do certain masculine things and they can like defer that to her. Like, yeah, it's okay if my girl like bosses me around and tells me what to do, like because they're idiots and they don't understand.
Fuck no. If I have a house, if I have the car, if I have everything else, and you're just living in my house, like, to be honest, you're just a visitor with benefits. Like, that's just it. If you disrespect me, you're getting kicked the fuck out. I don't care.
Female nature, same exact thing.
Oh wait, and I know there's people gonna be like, what are you but what's she gonna do if she gets kicked out? Oh, that's her dad's responsibility, not mine. I'm not her father.
With women, the blue pill for women is feminism and thinking that chasing a career, acting like a man, being masculine, challenging your husband or challenging your man is like, empowering. That is the blue pill for them. And they bite it even worse because advertisers and society in general, like women are easier buyers. Like they're the target demographic for advertisers because women are the consumers. They like to extract value. And with them, when I always say like when you lie, women buy. And that's what they do. That's why, like with the Gillette commercial, we can even put in the clip here if you guys want.
Which one, the tranny mustache one, or the one the guy's like, you shouldn't actually tell the woman she's hot? Which one?
Boys will be boys.
The one, the boys will be boys one.
Yeah. Boys will be boys. Bullying is a problem among kids here in Indiana.
Oh god.
We can't hide from it. We can't laugh it off.
Oh, here's the thing too. Boys will be boys, but yeah, you saw that black guy. That was most likely rap hip hop. And these people don't like criticizing that stuff. They hate criticizing that stuff. Like it stands against so much they believe in, and yet they pretend like it doesn't exist. This is a problem with feminists. They're feminists, but when it's convenient, they'll happily just pretend it doesn't exist. Usually for Muslims and the black community, when it comes to rap and stuff, so feminists will shut up and not say anything.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think.
Making the same old excuse.
Boys will be boys. Boys will
Nice.
be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And in that commercial, I love to use that because that commercial exemplifies the problem that we're in. We have a men's razor company, right? A men's razor company literally shitting on their target demographic of customer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's like if Lockheed Martin started shitting on the U.S. Army. Guess what? We're not gonna buy your shit anymore. Yeah. What are you gonna do now? Who else is gonna buy your expensive jets? Not fucking Canada. They make less money than Texas. In fact, Florida's on their way to make more money than Canada now. I bet. Yeah, Canada's a piece of shit. You heard what I said, Canadians. I don't feel bad for you guys. I'm waiting for you guys to become not the 51st state. A territory. We need you guys as a territory. Basically what I'm saying is we want your oil.
To appease to women, and if that doesn't prove that women are the majority consumers and they run, we live in a gynocentric society. I don't know what else does. And I always tell people they're like, oh, why is that a big deal? Men do need to be better. A lot of guys are toxically masculine, whatever. Because that was one of the commercials that pushed this whole toxic masculinity thing. And I'm like, all right, well, what if Victoria's Secret did a commercial saying, hey, stop being sluts, stop cheating on your boyfriend, stop being.
Oh yeah, that would be breaking news. Kind of like how Sydney Sweeney made a commercial with jeans and people got mad because it wasn't some overweight 400-pound land whale in the commercial. People got mad, and also because she was a hot white girl. Let's be honest, the majority of people complaining about it were ugly women. That was the majority of people complaining about it. Ugly women. And they're like, oh, good genes. Oh, she's a Nazi. But if a black woman said that she's superior in every way to white people, nobody would have said a thing. Nobody would have said a thing. It would have been a regular commercial. But yeah, it's hypocritical.
Attention whores on Instagram, like start making those goddamn sandwiches. Do you think Victoria's Secret would have a problem? They probably would.
We'd all be losers because it would be out of business.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't want that to happen. It's one of the few like that and Yankee Doodle Candle Store. Those are the only reasons I go to the mall, usually by myself. One point I would say is I agree.
Spencer.
One fundamental difference though, and I think you would agree with this, but single men are very large consumers. Once they are in a nuclear family household, women are the consumers. So the marketing changes when they're single. Men tend to buy a lot of things, electronics, cars.
I agree with that to a certain extent. Yep, they'll buy J's, they'll buy rims, they'll buy nice clothes, they'll buy like expensive pieces of technology, but then they would complain about their rent while having like a $1,000 phone in their hand. And I'm not saying that rent is cheap, but I'm just saying that like a bunch of people suck financially. Because like if you see a person complaining about money when they have a bunch of luxurious clothes and luxurious items, like they're full of bullshit. They're full of bullshit.
Toys, right? Sure. Once you're married, it's often women. And here's how I know I got a good woman. She's Latina, by the way. They're all nuts. But she buys men's razors. And I go, why? She goes, yeah. It's cheaper. It's the exact same thing. And that's how you know she's not a feminist, because women go, the pink tax, get a black razor, bitch.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 18 strips in Venus, people singing, doing synchronized swimming in the commercial. It's literally a tax on a color that costs more to produce and you pay more. You could just buy a plain black razor. Yep. And mine does. And that's why, you know, she doesn't have to cover up the bruising with makeup. But no, it's like,
sometimes you gotta, you know what I mean? Hey,
I don't
know.
Yeah. Here's a tip. When it comes to razors, I just bought the lawnmower 3.0 and boom, that was it. I never bought anything ever again. And no, this is not a commercial for them, so you don't have to worry about that.
But I will say, I do think a big part of this is recognizing women who identify that problem, because the truth is all women still have that proclivity of that, no matter what happens, but recognizing that, hey, we do tend to be more emotional. Hey, men are in positions of leadership. And the way I sort of present it when I discuss this with women is I go, you think leader, follower. There's no unit that exists in a business, in government, in the military where there isn't a hierarchy. So how about, hey, this guy's a general and you're a colonel, meaning everyone else is below you. Everything else in the household, everyone outside of your household is someone, your man will defer to you, just not when it's an issue of your difference of opinion, because he's the general, or he's the Secretary of Defense and you're a general, or he's the president and you're the Secretary of State. Like it's literally the next position from the top.
Absolutely.
But nowhere else do you go, we got two people calling the shots. Someone has to be a tiebreaker.
Yep.
And that's not dishonoring. That's as honoring as it can be outside of the one general.
Yeah. And I always tell people, like, you know, basically like she's like the consigliere, if we're gonna look at like Italian organized crime or something like that. You're the boss, she's the advisor, right? And then obviously whatever, you know, obviously you make the final decision, but her input does matter to a degree. And obviously the longer you're with her, the more value she's added to your life, the more and more her opinion matters. But my biggest thing is I just want guys to be in a position where they're the leader, they're the final decision maker. She doesn't wear the pants in the house. When you're out in public, she's not embarrassing you, which is another thing. Like she's, you know, you're self-deprecating like a simp, and she, you know, all this other stuff.
Like Steph Curry's wife?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, dude. His wife has been on some disrespectful shit. I remember somewhere she said something like he ruined her chances of being a career woman because of that. Like, that's like, bro, like, bitch, you wouldn't have anything without him. You are nothing without him. You literally would be working a 9-to-5 job for the rest of your life until you died if you weren't married to that man. That's what you would be. And then she's out here disrespecting him. And the worst part is, he's just letting it happen. Like, bro, you know what I would do? Divorce her. I don't give a shit. If I was a multi-millionaire, I'd get the best possible lawyer ever. Probably Alan Dershowitz if he does divorces. Because let's be honest. Like, Alan Dershowitz is goated as a fucking lawyer. But I would get him. And then after that, divorce her, keep as much of my money as possible. And then after that, dump her out of the house and say, you're a disrespectful bitch and I'm going to get someone younger than you. Because, like, he could get any woman he wants. The same thing as Will Smith, except Will Smith is a pussy. So he won't do it. Because Jada Smith has been the most disrespectful ass woman ever. He got no order in that house. You don't want to be like Will Smith, Steph Curry. Do it. Cut the ship. You had your fun, and now you're gonna get someone else, and you're gonna tell her straight up to her face, like, she's worthless.
Precisely.
Dude, my soul died a little.
Yeah.
When she's like, I've had to take him to, I've gone to therapy, and, you know, it's just, I was like, what? Your man's one of like the best at what he does on earth. And he's loyal.
And he seems to be a good guy.
And he seems to be a good guy who loves his kids.
Yep.
And she's just like, oh my God, he'll take a call during dinner. It's like, is it the president of Nike?
Yeah.
Or the president?
Yeah.
So
and it's like, it's just absolutely nuts. So that's where I want guys in a position where like their girl's never doing something like that to them. And the only way is like when she, number one, she doesn't, she sees you as a superior. And when she does talk about you, she should be excited and be like, oh yeah, I love him so much, blah, blah. And I can actually tell the way a woman talks about her man when he's not in the room tells me everything I need to know about the relationship. If she's like, infatuated with him and she looks up to him and she's impressed by him, she's like his biggest cheerleader.
Building him up.
That's how you know, like, okay, this guy has his stuff together. But when it's like that, where she's over here like bad mouthing him and complaining and stuff like that, it's like, dude, you don't have strong frame because your girl's over here saying this wild stuff about you. And the thing that kills me is like, yeah, like the guy is extremely competent and good at what he does.
Yeah.
Well, and that also goes back to Gerald's wrong point, which is, look, like it seems like he did everything right, and she still is miserable and ungrateful. As far as Steph Curry,
yeah.
No, I'm not talking about you. You've done everything wrong. What I'm saying is, but Steph Curry, no, you've done it mostly right. He got really lucky. His wife is awesome.
I got very lucky. Yes.
Yeah.
He just.
How long have you guys been together?
We got married in 2019, so 6 years.
Okay.
Into his 30s. I'm not
late 30s.
Yeah, I was like, it's not
like how long were you guys dating before that?
We literally dated 1 year. We got married on our 1 year anniversary.
Okay.
We were late enough in life where kind of figured all this stuff out.
Yeah.
And everything lined up like we were talking about. Like she'll say to me, like, I can't believe these people were talking bad about their husbands. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like that same kind of stuff. Exactly.
Oh, that's a green flag. That is a green flag for a woman if she says that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And Gerald knew that I thought he was going to be single for life. Where I was like, I don't know, I just need to give it up. That he was so excited when he was like, I want you to meet. Like, I think she's the one.
Strong dad?
Me?
No, her. Like, does she have a strong dad or
very strong personality dad? Yeah.
Okay,
for sure.
So because what I've noticed with women like that just get it without you having telling them anything, 9 out of 10 times, strong father or a strong brother or uncle or somebody in their life that like put these values in them. Like, yo, you do not do this type of.
Well, and she was a woman of faith. Like she was looking for somebody to lead, and that's why I was going to say one of the failures of the Protestant church has been feminism.
Yes.
Like, and I know you're Muslim. I'm going to talk to Jay Dyer here in the next couple of.
He's the Halloween 3 of the.
Yeah. But that's one of the failures. Like putting kind of inverting everything you described about women just a second ago about kind of the role and that partnership is described in the Bible. That's the biblical prescription for it. But we've taken that and perverted it in the church, and nobody's happy because of it.
Well,
women aren't happy, and men are not
happy.
Have
taken it and perverted. That goes in the Protestant church. It's women who, and that is a failure of leadership from men. A lot of men didn't prioritize faith, and so women are the ones who take the kids to Sunday school. Women are the ones who are often the Protestant church has catered to them.
Yeah,
and very much.
We've read it's a real problem.
Yeah,
where you will hear pastors sit down and talk about what a man isn't and what a man needs to be, and if you ask, well, what is a wife? He'll just tell you, well, I'll tell you what submission doesn't mean. Yeah, but what does it mean? I'll tell you what it doesn't mean. This, like, yeah, but can you call half of this place to the mat? And they don't.
Yeah, and that's I'm really glad that you said that. And that's just not a problem within the Protestant church. That's a problem in society in general. Whether whether in the confinements of religion or not. Like women's roles nowadays are ambiguous. They can behave like a man when they want. They can behave like a lady when they want, and they're able to kind of what I call the proverbial double dipping, where they can.
Yep. They can be a cheerleader when they want, but they can also be a strong, independent woman when they want. So a good example is, I ain't need no man. I'm fine by myself. I can do whatever a man can. And then she gets a HR position that she didn't deserve, all because she's the right gender. But if there's a fire going on, she's not going to deal with it because she's a scared little girl, and therefore nothing that happens she's responsible for because she's a scared little girl. So you need a firefighter to come in and stop the fire for you. It's like they want this both ways thing where, they want basically the power, the respect, and the authority without any of the accountability. And that's the problem. Without accountability, your authority basically doesn't mean anything. Because your authority at that point is, I'm just going to blame someone else for failures. Like that. That's bullshit. And women love that. They want leadership, but without the accountability of bad decision making.
Demand on one end, you better pay for the day and treat me like a lady. But on the other hand, they can say, I'm a boss babe and I don't need to listen to you. And this puts us in a very weird position because now she wants me to adhere to all my duties, but she's not adhering to hers. She could talk back to me, but I'm responsible for anything if it goes wrong. So I have basically all this responsibility with no authority. And my thing is, whether, it's the advice I dispense with having those 5 things in place with the 50 bodies, certain money, being in shape, etc., or, vetting a girl for 6 to 12 months. My biggest thing is I just want men to be in the position where they are the decider. You want to be monogamous? Fantastic. Do it. You want to have multiple girlfriends? Fantastic. Do it. But you need to be the one dictating dictating how things go, not the women. That's really the only biggest, that's why I do what I do, is so that men understand that they need to be the leaders. And to be the leader, you need to have these things in place and also understand what you're dealing with on the other end, because women of 2025 are no longer the women of 1955, which, you know, guys make this egregious mistake and think that they are.
Yeah, that's where we would differ. For me, the prescription is, yeah, a woman should, and if she does provide those things, it is your duty as a man to honor her, to respect her,
of course,
to provide her, to protect, and be. And I would put in there monogamous.
Yeah.
But you know, I will say that
as long as the guy's making that decision and he's monogamous because he wants to be, I'm cool with it. I just don't want guys being monogamous because their wife tells them, "Oh, you better be monogamous because X, Y, Z." Like,
well, I understand your problem with it too.
Yeah,
I understand, because the truth is, if a man commits to monogamy, and again, I fully support monogamy, not like this bigamist over here. I'm half thinking that's how you know it's a cult, if someone gets to bang everyone at the top.
Yeah.
But
that's a power grab.
I will say,
it'd be like the Branch Davidians, man.
Right? Yeah.
That's what we're here next to Dallas.
There you go. Yeah.
Let's be honest. If you had, like, a lot of people, like, if you had your dream car, let's say it's a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or some shit, you know what would make your life better? If you had a second Ferrari, that would make your life better. Yeah, you see how that train of thinking, like, pretty easy. Think about it. You have the money to get the other one, you have everything to service it and fix it, and you can get the other one easily. So why wouldn't you? That's the whole idea. Is that one chocolate bar is good, but maybe I want 2, maybe I want 3, maybe I want 4, but you gotta have the amount of money and the amount of clout to be able to have that many in the first place. If you can't, well, it's your fault. It's your fault. You gotta step up your game. That's what I like about him. He's rich. He has the money. He has the clout, so he can do it, and I respect it.
Not too far away from Waco. Like, come on, man.
I don't think you'd want hypergamy with those people.
No.
But I will say, like, if you promise monogamy, which I believe should be promised, the problem is you are promising something that is like 80% of the equation for a woman. If you're a man worth, committing to, and we do have to understand relationship dynamics. There is leverage at play sometimes, and you've given that all up. Woman's like, if I know this man is a good man and he is going to be monogamous, I can use it against him. I'll summarize it this way.
Absolutely.
I have, despite what people try to say, you can even look at court records, never laid a hand on a woman, never would. But I've been with women who have been with guys before me who hit them. And I've said this where I've gone, you know what? You know I'm not going to. And the messed up thing is, I know that's being used against me.
Yep, and that's the thing too. Women will use their past traumas, and if you don't reinforce that past trauma, they'll think something is wrong with the relationship. So a good example is if she had a broken family, broken relationships where she was used as a sex object and they left, and you stay, you make everything correct, you do everything right, and you fix everything. The thing is, she doesn't think of it as love or as you fixing her life. She thinks of it as something is wrong because every other relationship she had was a giant mess, and that's what she's used to. So she has to make your relationship a giant mess because that's the only thing she thinks love is. She doesn't think love is like all that stuff. And that's another aspect, which is some women come like that, and it's like if you have a I can fix her mentality, you might be burned. You might be burned.
I know that you're talking to me in a way that you wouldn't to your former Puerto Rican boyfriend or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Or Jamal.
And you're just like, and so what do? Like, it doesn't matter how stern you are. It's like you can be walked all over. And that is a problem that I think.
What you can do is simple. You're getting kicked out of my house and get the fuck out. I'm not helping you anymore. That's it. That's what you can do. Because, like, the worst thing you can do to her is say, hey, you're not getting money anymore. Hey, you're not getting benefits anymore. And if she says, oh, I'm sorry, you gotta make her apologize. You gotta make her feel bad. Because the thing is, women will guilt trip you for every decision you do. And if you don't, they'll happily guilt trip you for all the smallest things. You gotta do that shit to her. You gotta tell her, this is wrong. You're never gonna get away with this. And if you do this shit again, like, I'm over. And you gotta make her respect your decision and respect you. Yeah. Because another thing is, like, if a woman cheats on you and you forgive her, but then you still have kids with her, you still marry her, you still give her gifts, like, she's not gonna feel bad about cheating no matter how much time has passed. Because the fact is, you rewarded her for cheating. you gotta not reward her for cheating. If she cheats on you, you treat her like a piece of garbage and make her work for it if you want to stay. If you don't want to stay, get the fuck out and never go back. Never ever go back. That's 99% the best option. But if you want to go to some revenge trip, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think a lot of men just don't know how to solve, where they can be hit, where they can be cheated on. A woman can hit a man, cheat on him, leave him, and take half, and so they're checking out. And so I do think that the Protestant church has come up short with a lot of solutions. Now, I certainly wouldn't go to Islam, but
we smack our women. No.
I know a lot of you do.
We should honor them.
Yeah. So I do understand that. I still think that that is what we should strive for. And I don't think that going down the path of polyamorous relationships is a solution, but I get it. And I remember going, ooh, the fact that I'm not, because in other words, it's a promise I've made to myself where I'm not going to swat you, where if you were a guy, you'd be going off the balcony, and I know it's used against me.
Yeah. And since and I'm glad you said that, since we can no longer use violence to curb women, shucks. We have to stop it. We have to. Oh man, damn it!
You have to use You have to use the lack of resources.
Else, and what I always say is the only
or the lack of attention. Women love attention, and if you take it away from them, they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be very mad.
Leverage you have as a man is your ability to walk away. Now, am I saying, guys,
right? And that's what I was getting at.
Run around and smash a bunch of girls or whatever? No, but you being able to not be monogamous is what keeps women in line. Because I always said, when you have other women in line, your girl will be in line and follow what she's supposed to do, because she knows that you can get up and leave because you keep your sexual market value high. You stay the
Can
guy.
we change the language? Because I agree with what you're. Do you think maybe it might help if you change the language to, as opposed to like getting what you want? Like, in other words, if you are going to meet her expectations. In other words, like if she gets what she wants, she has to meet expectations. Because women think like, hey, you're treating me like a dog. And I understand where you're coming from. But it's true. It's like, hey, we both have expectations. You got to meet yours. You can't hold me to a promise if you're not holding yourself to yours.
Yeah, no. And the problem is that guys don't hold make sure they don't hold the woman to a standard, which is
the legal system forbids it.
Yeah, precisely. And she has every incentive to actually break said contract. So what I tell guys is like, this is why you got it. This is why I'm so big on you. You need to go to the gym. You need to make money. You need to be successful. You need to have all these things in place where you're an attractive man. And most importantly, other men respect you and other women want to be with you. You walk into
enough about me.
And women are looking at you, right? And that helps because now your girl sees, oh, she's given a constant reminder, oh, I'm with the best that I can get. Because I always look at women as like, they're kind of like, well, they're the buyers, right? So like if you get a car, right, you get a really nice car, right, as the woman, right? I'd like to normally make the women the car with the high mileage, but we can go ahead and do it on the other side. So if she feels like she bought a car, right, and everywhere she goes, this car is getting, people are enamored by it, asking questions like, oh my God, so how'd you get that? Blah, blah, blah. That thing is rare, what, blah. Like she's constantly getting attention and compliments on it, or like people are looking at it. She knows that she got a good deal. But if she's not constantly being reminded that her guy is that guy, she loses attraction a little bit. And that's the thing that's kind of sucks with women, which is another thing I need to tell guys is like, because they don't understand this. Women are attracted to status and women are attracted to men that already have other women. We don't need that because we're decision makers on our own and we're capable of like independent thought. Like if, for example, right, let's say all of us were single, you guys weren't married. If Gerald saw a hot girl and down the street and he's like, oh man, she's hot. And we said, dude, she looks weird. What are you talking about? He'd be like, fuck you guys, I'm going to go talk to her anyway. He doesn't need us to co-sign that girl for him to be attracted to her. Women aren't like that though. They need to,
yeah, that's true. Like I had a friend who he loves fat women, and the thing is, you cannot get him off of it, and we respect him because he likes that shit. Like I once saw him, like I once saw him flirt with a female bus driver. Dude, he got her number. Holy shit, it was funny. But hey, the thing is, he got game and he got it, so I don't feel bad at all. He won. But the thing is, he likes it. It's not he's being forced into it, which is why I respect it.
Might be attracted to you, but if they see other women attracted to you, it goes even further. So they need like the community to approve of you, and there's a bunch of biological reasons for that. But
it's a competitive drive.
It's a competitive drive for them. So guys need to be that dude where, and this is where the monogamy thing kicks in. Fine, you want to be monogamous, that's fine, but she needs to know that you could leave her at any second, and I think that's what keeps women in line because you can't smack them anymore.
What? Do you? Okay, let me ask you this, because this is, and I know people will be, no matter how we have this conversation, people will criticize me and you and vice versa. Because I'm totally fine. I'm trying to be as fair as
toxic misogynist.
But does love enter into the equation? By that I mean, let's say, for example, you're General Patton, right? And you're the baddest mofo on the block, the person I can think of.
Yep.
And then you get hit by a car and you need some help. Are you saying that women would leave that guy because he's not desired by other women at that point? Or do we allow for, hey, knowing that he was that guy and knowing who he is, but sometimes you actually do need to be each other's support structure?
Yeah, no, of course. I'll say that, if she's a good girl, she's going to stay by there for you. But I think every woman is going to have a time clock, right? Like, how long will she sit there as you're like, disabled, not able to provide and have that security? And I think this is like the more carnal and, bad side of female nature, where women are literally designed to like find the strongest man and align with that. So like, if you can no longer provide that security that you used to, it's inevitable that she's going to lose a level of attraction for you at some point. So that's why I always tell guys, like, if you lose your job or anything else like that, like, don't cry in front of your girl. Like, figure it out.
Oh yeah, never cry in front of women. I don't care if it's your mom, if your grandma might be an exception. But I don't care if it's your mom, your girlfriend, your sister. Never fucking cry. Never cry. That's their job. Your job is to cry in the shower when nobody's looking, if you have to. Either that or speak to the boys. Never ever do it in front of a woman, because she will use it against you. And it may suck, but think about this. Guys almost pretty much never use girls crying against them, but women will. Women will use your lowest moment against you, and it's just a sad part. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's your mom, your sister, or your girlfriend. Never fucking do it. Because rarely will they respect it. Because years later down the line, they'll bring it up. They'll bring it up saying, "Oh, you were a pussy here, you cried." Like, the only times it's acceptable is if your dad or son dies. Like, that's the only time you crying would be respected. But if it's over, like, you losing your job or anything, nah, you're fucking cooked. You're fucking cooked, man.
Talk to your guy friends. Don't cry to your girl, because women are literally designed to be, repulsed by weakness by men, because that affects their security. So like, if they see you crying or they see you get beat up by another dude, even though they might say, "Oh no, open up to me or I'm going to support you," like there's like some visceral reaction in the back of her brain that's going to say, "Oh, this guy might not be able to protect you. You might, need a change." And I've had so many girls on my show. We've had like 4,000 girls now at this point. A lot of them say,
you personally?
Yeah, on our show.
On the show.
Yeah,
different number.
Yeah, girls that we've talked.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. I bet Steven Crowder was accidentally thinking, "What, you slept with 4,000 girls?" That would be like Johnny Sins level. But he had that many on his show. Yeah, if he thought of a different number, that would have been impressive. That would have been Genghis Khan shit.
Like Magic Johnson.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
He's not banging dudes. I'm not kidding. Magic Johnson straight as an arrow. Great movie theaters. Please continue.
His son not so straight. But yeah, so like one of the things I've always noticed is like when girls like lose attraction for their guys, there's some like this one pivotal point. It's either he lost his job, he cried in front of her, he showed weakness, and then she just never looked at him the same, and then the attractiveness just dropped off from there. So I'm not saying every girl's gonna leave you when you're in that vulnerable position, but there's definitely a time clock that's starting.
So is there ever, because a lot of people say, well, that seems cold and bleak, and I hate to use the word transactional, because all relationships are transactional to some degree.
Sure.
Yes, they are.
Is there a scenario where appropriate, assuming confines, assuming expectations have been met, where a man can be vulnerable or should be to trust that woman? Can she ever cross that threshold in your mind?
I think vulnerable, but in ways that won't necessarily hurt you. So like, if you have a dog and she shows
as I said, the only time is if your dad or son died. That's the only time it's gonna be respected. Only fucking time. But yeah.
Sees how much you love your dog and how you show so much affection to it, and she sees the soft side. That's a good way, right? With being vulnerable, because it shows like your caretaking ability, or with your children, playing with them and showing that you can be a very loving father. I think this is good. But like when it comes to like you as a guy, like crying or showing any type of weakness, "Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do about these bills, blah, blah." I think most women would prefer for you to just solve the problem silently on the side and she doesn't even know about it, then bring that problem to her and have her help you with it. Now, am I saying that she'll leave you? Of course not. No, right. She'll be like, "Yeah, let's go at this together. It's us against the world." Some women will embrace it and love it, but you don't know, because every girl's different. And until they're met with that problem, you don't know how they're going to respond. So I look at it like, why roll the dice, right? We were talking about revolvers earlier. Why play Russian roulette with your relationship, right? Why, if you don't have to? Because women respond so strongly to security or a lack of it. I wouldn't even chance it.
Yeah. And I think men respond in kind of to stability that's created by the woman in the home. That's a really big thing. I mean, either you're out sowing your wild oats, but when a man settles down, like he's only settling down because he wants stability in his house that he doesn't get from the world, and that's super important. That's both sides of the equation.
And for her to have to feel like the house is going to be stable, she needs to know that you're stable too, because you're the reason why she has the roof over her head. So like, I look at it like when you have your problems, your masculine problems, you should always go to your guy friends with it, never to your girl or to your woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
never. Yep. But yeah, I fully agree with this, and I fully agree because this is a side that, like a lot of conservative speakers, at least the more older ones, fail young men with, which is they'll say video games are bad, marry women, do this, do that, make her happy, but a lot of them are already out of the dating market, so they don't understand that the controls have changed years ago. They just exist in a world where they thought everything that they did applies anymore. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And that's why I like people like these guys. You don't have to agree with everything they say and do, but they help you learn the realities of a dating market that's like put against you now, where you're competing with guys who are like 35, have more money than you, have more cars than you, have more everything than you, and you're competing with those guys for women that are your age, and it's very difficult in the dating market to succeed. like when your only value is like how fit you are, how much money you have. But yeah, great conversation, and this is a very great spillover into what a lot of these guys needed. Like Crowder has helped the conservative movement having this talk. And the thing is, the more we talk, the better it is. We got to talk with these people because even if we don't agree with everything they have to say, these people are not retards. These people are smart and these people know what they're doing. Anyways, that's about all.